Hi there, welcome to the Essex Explorer. Come on board. The Essex Explorer is a historic ship. She was one of the last vessels built in Aberdeen. It contains one of the last triple expansion reciprocating steam engines built in Scotland. We believe she's one of the last steam trawlers to ever be built in the UK, and she was built at a time where technology was changing, so she's got a lot of modern technology for the time on board as well as old traditional technology, so she's a great showcase of Scottish engineering and sort of ingenuity. When Explorer was launched in 1955, the steam engine was a bit of an anachronism at the time. It was kind of old technology. At that time, people were moving more towards diesel. It was more efficient, but for the kind of work that Explorer was doing, a steam engine was the best possible thing for the job. It provided high torque at low revs for low speed trawling and things. So that was installed with an oil-fired Scotch furnace boiler, and that equipment is still on board the ship. They had AC electrics on board for the labs, but you don't get anything like this anymore, anywhere, ever. It's all been superseded. But you've got proper old school knife switches and things like that. It's really quite a fantastic and evocative piece of kit. So this would have just indicated to the person that's on duty here what speed the ship wants to go at and how many fires he should light to get the ship up to that speed to provide the necessary power in the boiler to power her through. But these would have run on heavy fuel oil. It's like treacle. So that would have been preheated before it's injected into the furnaces, and that would have heated up all the water for the steam to propel the ship through the water. She was a fisheries research vessel all through her life, so she was heavily involved in scientific research as well, which puts her on a par with the Discovery up in Dundee. She tested fishing gear, she looked at fish stocks, she expanded her understanding of the maritime environment, and she was crewed by people from Leith as well as people from all over Scotland, and she was maintained in Leith for her service career as well. When she was in service, all these walls were filled with equipment. There was recording equipment, logging equipment, navigation equipment, all sorts of things that we can still see on videos of her when she was in service. We're hoping to kind of track down some of that stuff and put it back and just have it sort of as she was when she was in service and things. But this is one of the spaces in the ship that was completely derelict. It was completely ruined. It never had a deck in it or anything when the society got hold of her. So there's been a lot of work done to make it presentable enough that people can come on board and kind of get a feel for it and things like that. Things like the voice tubes that you see behind you there. These tubes go all the way through the ship and they're used for communication. So there's tubes similar to this down in the engine room. It'd be nice
you could speak to somebody from the engine room from here?
Yeah, it should be possible, yeah. Once we get the system reconnected and everything, it should be good. The telegraph connected up, I mean this thing here would ring whenever you request your speed. So you'd set it to your speed and it would ring, send the bell down the engine room. The engine room would answer and that inner dial would move to notify it that's what they've understood, they received and understood it. And then you would set it back to do whatever. So once we get things like this all reconnected up, it's going to be very, very good for a kind of immersive experience that we're sort of hoping people to be able to have at some point. When Explorer was decommissioned in 1984, she sat at anchor for 10 years in the Cromarty Firth, steadily being deteriorated by the weather and vandals and stuff like that, seabirds and what have you, until the point where she was sold for scrap again a second time, and she actually started being cut up when the Essex Explorer Preservation Society was formed, and they raised enough funds to purchase the vessel outright and then set on a course to start the restoration process of it. Right now there's a sort of core group of around 12 volunteers. There are people like myself, I'm a full-time student, ranging from retired marine steam engineers, bus mechanics, painters and decorators, former crew members that work on board as well, former policemen as well. This is the captain's cabin. This is all original. This is as built and in the appearance as it would be when Explorer was in service. All the furniture's mahogany. It's all been built to a very, very, very high standard. And at the time when she was in service doing fisheries research and scientific research, Explorer was the best fitted out ship of her generation. She has the kind of lines of a fishing trawler but the fit out of an ocean liner. This is echoed in all the cabins that are on board. So This particular cabin's been refurbished quite heavily this year. We've repainted the walls, we've addressed some of the leaks and the problems that are on board, sorted out some of the carpets and things, and put some sort of set dressing out just to kind of make it quite evocative. So it's almost like the captain left yesterday, you know, he's left his hat and everything, his paybook and everything sitting beside. So where we are standing just now would have been wires and fishing nets and crew running about, there would have been trawl gear running down the side. Explorer always operated in the worst of weather conditions, but she was a very, very, very good seaboat and very, very comfortable and luxurious for her time. Built to ice class specifications, she could go up into the high Arctic wastes down south as far as, you know, the Falklands and things like that. There was a story once that she was out working in the ice and sucked a piece of ice beneath the propeller and bent one of the propeller blades, so they had to steam all the way back home to Leith. There's this propeller blade hitting off the hull, clicking every single time it went round, click, 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 all the way back home. We've got a lot of work to do this year as far as reinstating the deck goes, and potentially having the ship dry docked. We're looking to potentially have her moved to a spot where there's going to be better public access, so we can start having more groups of volunteers on board to do things. There's massive hurdles to getting the ship back to seeing any kind of capacity, but as a static exhibit showing the kind of technology that was available at the time and the sort of transitional technology as well, if you like, you know, hopefully it'll inspire future generations and educate people as well.